The extended version of the story inspired by Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Welcome to EStory, where we bring powerful stories to life. Today we share an inspiring tale based on the principles from the bestseller Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This story follows a young boy named Michael, who learns valuable lessons about money, wealth, and life from two very different father figures. Join us as we explore the journey of Michael and the conflicts that shape his understanding of financial success.
Michael, a bright and curious 10-year-old, lived in a small suburban neighborhood. His father, John, was a highly educated man who worked as a schoolteacher. Known as Poor Dad, John believed in the traditional path of education and job security. Despite his hard work, John's family often struggled to make ends meet.
On the other side of town lived Michael's best friend, Kevin, whose father, Richard, was a successful entrepreneur and investor. Known as Rich Dad, Richard had a very different approach to money and life. He believed in financial education, investing, and making money work for you. One summer afternoon, Michael was invited to Kevin's birthday party at Rich Dad's mansion. The lavish home, the beautiful garden, and the expensive cars left Michael in awe. He couldn't help but compare it to his modest home.
After the party, Michael asked his father, "Dad, why don't we have a house like Kevin's?" This question sparked the first major conflict in Michael's journey. John, or Poor Dad, sighed and explained, "Michael, we can't afford such luxuries because I chose a career that helps people, not one that makes a lot of money. Remember, money isn't everything. Education and a secure job are what's important." Michael was left confused and unsatisfied with this answer. He wondered if there was a way to have both a fulfilling life and financial success.
Determined to understand more, Michael approached Rich Dad, Richard, and asked him the same question. Richard smiled and invited Michael to visit his office the next day. When Michael arrived, Richard shared his philosophy. "Michael, it's not about how much money you make, but how much money you keep and how hard it works for you. The key is to understand the difference between assets and liabilities. Assets put money in your pocket, while liabilities take money out." This conversation ignited Michael's curiosity and marked the beginning of his financial education.
Inspired by Rich Dad's words, Michael decided to start a lemonade stand with Kevin. They borrowed a small amount of money from Richard as an initial investment, promising to pay it back with interest. This was Michael's first lesson in borrowing and repaying with profit. The lemonade stand was a hit in their neighborhood. Michael and Kevin carefully tracked their income and expenses, reinvesting their profits into expanding the stand. They learned about supply and demand, customer service, and the importance of location.
However, conflict arose when other kids in the neighborhood, envious of their success, started competing lemonade stands. Michael and Kevin had to innovate to stay ahead, offering unique flavors and adding a small bakery section. At school, Michael's teacher assigned a debate topic: is it better to have a high-paying job or to own a business? Michael, armed with his new knowledge, argued for owning a business, citing his experiences and the lessons from Rich Dad. Many of his classmates, influenced by their parents' beliefs, argued for the security of a high-paying job. The debate became heated, with Michael facing criticism and skepticism. Even his teacher suggested that his views were too risky and unconventional.
This conflict challenged Michael, making him question if he was on the right path. But he remained determined, driven by the success of his lemonade stand and the teachings of Rich Dad. As Michael grew older, his financial knowledge expanded. With guidance from Rich Dad, he saved enough money from his various small ventures to invest in a piece of real estate. He bought a small, run-down property in a developing neighborhood. This decision brought another wave of conflict. Poor Dad was worried. "Michael, real estate is risky. You could lose everything. Why not save your money and focus on getting a good job after college?"
Michael, however, trusted Rich Dad's advice. He renovated the property and rented it out, turning it into a profitable asset. This experience taught him about the importance of cash flow and the power of investing in assets. Michael's growing success was not without its challenges. An economic downturn hit, and many of his tenants lost their jobs, making it difficult for them to pay rent. Michael faced financial strain and pressure from both poor dad and his peers, who urged him to sell the property and cut his losses. Rich dad, however, advised patience and strategic planning. Michael negotiated with his tenants, offering temporary rent reductions and helping some of them find new jobs. His actions built loyalty and community, and eventually, as the economy recovered, so did his rental income.
As Michael continued to prosper, the tension between the philosophies of rich dad and poor dad reached a boiling point. At a family gathering, a heated argument broke out. Poor dad criticized Michael's risky ventures, advocating for the traditional path of education and job security.
Michael, you're putting everything at risk. What happens if the market crashes again? You need a stable career, poor dad insisted.
Michael, now more confident in his beliefs, responded, "Dad, I've learned that financial security comes from owning assets, not just having a job. I respect your views, but I believe in the path rich dad has shown me." The conflict strained their relationship, leaving Michael torn between the two father figures who had shaped his life. Despite the personal and financial conflicts, Michael's ventures continued to grow. He diversified his investments, buying more properties, starting new businesses, and even venturing into stocks and bonds. Each step brought new challenges and learning experiences. Rich Dad introduced Michael to other successful entrepreneurs and investors, expanding his network and opportunities. Michael's ability to adapt and innovate helped him navigate the ups and downs of the market.
His success, however, also brought jealousy and opposition from competitors and even former friends. Michael had to navigate legal disputes, market manipulations, and unethical business practices, all while maintaining his integrity and vision. As Michael became wealthier, he remembered the struggles of his early years and the lessons from both rich dad and poor dad. He decided to give back to his community, establishing scholarships and financial literacy programs in local schools. He started workshops and seminars, teaching young people about the principles of financial independence and entrepreneurship. His efforts helped many families break free from the cycle of poverty and dependence on traditional job security. Years later, at a community event where Michael was a guest speaker, poor dad attended to see his son's achievements firsthand. As Michael spoke about his journey and the importance of financial education, he acknowledged the valuable life lessons he had learned from both father figures. After the event, John, poor dad, approached Michael with tears in his eyes. "I'm proud of you, son. You've proven that there are different paths to success, and you've made a positive impact on so many lives." Michael hugged his father, grateful for the support and lessons from both poor dad and rich dad. The reconciliation marked a new chapter in their relationship, built on mutual respect and understanding.
Michael's journey from a curious boy to a successful entrepreneur and investor is a testament to the power of financial education, perseverance, and the willingness to embrace unconventional paths. His story inspires others to challenge traditional beliefs about money and success, and to seek their own financial independence.
Thank you for joining us at EStory. We hope Michael's story has inspired you to pursue your own dreams and financial freedom, no matter the conflicts and challenges you may face. Remember, true wealth is not just in material possessions, but in the knowledge and empowerment we share with others. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with your friends and family. Stay tuned for more uplifting and captivating stories from EStory.